Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale. Today, I'm going to discuss the health problems from stress. This will be a two-part series. The part 2, I will put the description, the link in the description box. Now, the first thing I want to mention as far as the disease that stress brings on is heart disease. The uncontrollable cholesterol and high blood pressure leads to heart disease. Insomnia, due to uncontrollable heart beating patterns from work or family. Weakening of the immune system. Stresses reduces the lymphocyte count, weakening against its war on disease. Low sex drive. The effects of our libido, I always get that wrong, hampers hormone levels, narrows the arteries, and restricts the blood flow. Erectile dysfunction. The more stress, the more it'll weight down health and sex drive. Missed periods. Stress may even cause women to even forget or ignore the last period. Managing stress will alleviate itself. It will alleviate the condition. So this condition is just temporary most times. Now, let me just mention this. At one point in time, I was a foster parent. And one of the little girls that I got, she was about 16 or 17. I believe that the stress and the traumatic experience of being ripped out of her home, and I received her, she actually spent about, 3 weeks in my home. Every day of the 3 weeks, she was on her period. So it wasn't like she missed the period, it just never left. And that I really do believe that was the effects of the stress, the trauma that was in her life from being just, taken from her home. CPS came into her home and just took her. And I think in this instance, it was a matter of cleanliness of her house. They just thought that the house was not fit for children to be in. So actually, they took all the children out of the home. Muscle cramping. The muscle tension is a natural reflex. Constant stress can create a condition where the body is in a constant state of self-defense, leading to a temporary muscle cramps and fatigue. Obesity. Obesity, it increases, is an increase in the cortisol production, which controls fat storage and energy use. Asthma attacks. Stress will cause narrowing of the airways, production of inflammatory, I can't read my own writing. And mucus in the airways and lungs. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't want this to be long and drawn out, so I just took some notes, and that's what I'm reading. And that one particular word, I just can't read it to save my life. Now I'm going to do 10 at a time. So the last one, I'm going to spend a little bit more time because I know a lot more about that. Stress can bring on diabetes. People under stress have spiked blood glucose and stress levels remains high. If it remains high, there's a higher risk of contracting the illness later on in life. So just the stress of everyday life and prolonged stress later on in life, it can cause diabetes. And I truly, truly believe that is what happened to me. I was on a job, highly stressful. Some things happened on the job. I ended up taking legal action on the job. And I stayed out, I think, for about 6 months or 7 months, went back to the same conditions. So just imagine going to a job where nothing has been resolved and you're taking legal action, and all the supervisors, management, of course they know because a lot of the action was taken against them and an employee and a coworker. So just imagine with that daily stress, you're living through that, and they're watching every little thing you do and waiting for you to mess up. And in fact, I believe a lot of things was sabotaged so I could mess up. They would deny all this, but one of the supervisors told me later on that they were all told not to tell me anything, not to help me with anything. They wanted me to mess up. So, and this was a supervisor who told me this. Now, also about that, any of the illnesses that I mentioned, I would recommend you pay attention to your body. Because before I was diagnosed, I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what, but I just felt funny. I just felt different. And I would also recommend that the intuition that we have, pay attention to that. Now, let me tell you about a dream that I had regarding this. I had a dream, and this was before I was diagnosed. I had a dream, and it was like I was on a ship. And at the bottom deck, it was a long pool, like the length of the ship. And you had to walk down some stairs to get to that pool. And one of the lifeguards, I guess it was, walked up to me as I was climbing down the stairs and said, "Take your shoes off." And then the dream ended. So I'm not really sure of the time span, whether it was a couple of weeks later or what have you. But I had made a doctor's appointment because I just felt different. I can't even explain to you how I felt, but I just felt different. So I went to the doctor's office to my appointment. And soon as I walked into the examination room, it had like a poster type thing on a bulletin board. And the bulletin board had something regarding diabetes. I forget exactly what the bulletin said, but it mentioned diabetes. And it said, upon arriving, take your shoes off. The same wording that I heard in my dream. And immediately I realized before the doctor even examined me, I realized I had diabetes. Well, after the examination, and they took my blood, and I went back to work. Well, maybe about 10-15 minutes after I got back, the doctor called and told me to immediately come to the office. My numbers were so high. Now, I'm not sure whether he ordered the prescription then, but I'm kind of fuzzy on that memory. But anyway, paying attention to my body, that my body was just off. Making an appointment, having that dream, it all came together. So I said all that to say, just pay attention to the signs. Not everybody's going to have a dream. You're just going to have a feeling. But I had all that. And so I was able to get on the medication. And for a while, it was hard to get my levels normal. Because, all the while before I was diagnosed, I was continuing to eat everything I used to, which was, I pretty much had a good diet as far as vegetables and fruits but every now and then, I would want some cake, some cookies, some pie, some ice cream. Well, I'm going to be honest, not every now and then. It was like a daily thing, but I did eat a lot of vegetables and fruits and good things and salads also, raw vegetables and fruits. So I didn't think I was doing so badly, but all the sugar and carbs I was eating, I ate good things, but I was still considered to have a bad diet. So right now I have slipped up, but I am trying to be a vegetarian and then slowly working into being a vegan. So right now I'm experimenting with something. I'm taking my medication, but I'm experimenting with the black seed capsule, the black seed oil, because I've heard so many positive things with that. So it's been about, I guess, 2 going on 3 weeks that I'm taking the black seed oil capsules and then taking my numbers, and I'll get back to you on that, but it seems to be doing a good job. I haven't taken my blood levels today to see what my A1C levels are, but I'm going to take it before I go to bed and see, where they are right now. Because the highest, the normal count, they say, is 80 to 120. And I've been 103. I've been 122. I think the highest I've been in a while was 145, which isn't bad. It's above the normal count. But, the way I was going when the doctor told me that my levels was too high, I was 200 and something or 300 and something. I think it was 300 and something. And I went in and, we worked out a plan, which I didn't stick to for a while. I think I was just in denial. So anyway, I'm going to end this now. I just wanted to give you that information about what diseases are connected to stress level. We all know that stress kills. So I will see you at part 2. I'll do the next 10. And I'll put the link in the description so you can read all of the article, because I'm just skimming over, what the article said, just going straight to the point. And forgive me for mispronouncing. It's late at night, and some words I just mispronounce anyway. And then after I finish video podcasting, I will say, "Oh, this is the way you pronounce it. How stupid!" But then I don't want to delete the video and start all over. So forgive me for that. But anyway, have a good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Please subscribe to my channel, share this video for people that you suspect or handles stress not very well, or is very stressed out from family, friends, or job. And also hit the notification bell for further podcasts. So thank you again, and I will see you next time. Good night.